I'd like to welcome you all to our travel edition of the Lunch Club, where this month in April, we're talking all about spring. But yes, in spring and here in DC, tomorrow is DC Emancipation Day. So let's take a look at the history of DC, how it came to be, some fun facts, some apps, some trivia, some quotes. So you get a little bit of everything today. So I hope you all enjoy it and learn something new. And please share what you learned with others. The way we empower ourselves is sharing what we learned with others. Because when you can teach someone something, you learn it more yourself. So in Zoom, but I see all videos too, but in Zoom, please raise your hand. In Zoom, if you are a native Washingtonians, if you were born and raised here, you can raise your hand in Zoom, or you can say yes. Either one is fine for us.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Love it. Native Washingtonians. I know some of us are not. Like myself, I am not a native Washingtonian, but I've been here for 20 years. So you could also share how long you've been in DC for. 20 years for me.
I've been here 13.
Amazing. Yeah, amazing. I love it. Anyone else? Native Washingtonian.
Well, I've been in Washington over 50 years, but I'm from South Carolina.
Yes. Amazing. 50 years. I think after 10, you can consider yourself one.
No.
I don't know. After 10 years of living in DC, you learn a lot. But yes, native Washingtonians, if you're born and raised here. But after
I
like
was
10
born
years.
in 51, and I will be here 75 years on the 28th. I'll be 75.
Oh my, I know that's right, Miss Doris. That is something that you got to share with the world.
Mm-hmm.
A wonderful year, 1951.
Yes.
70. You don't sound or look 75, Miss Doris.
Thank you.
I was born in 51.
Oh, well, y'all are year twins. Yes.
I was born in 1946, and I will be 80 on May 1st.
Oh, 80 years in DC. Goodness gracious.
What a blessing.
I was born in 1946 also, and I'll be 80 May 3rd.
Oh, well, we're, and I see, I knew there was something going on between you and me and Miss Bessie.
I know that's right, y'all. So please, I want everyone to, of course, our age and the wisdom and, being elders and being empowered by that, because you guys are so full of knowledge, but also because we're in DC and surviving in DC and thriving in DC. It may not be the easiest thing, but we survived and did it, and that's why we share what we know with others to help them out a little bit. So today we'll be learning all about DC, fun facts, DC Emancipation. I have 3 apps for us: Fox Local, DC Historic Sites, and the WH Experience, White House Experience. And last but not least, we'll have our overview and discussion. So how these apps can positively impact your daily life. Because when you talk about apps, again, you can use them for yourselves, but again, you can also share them with others. So first up, all about DC and our app navigation. So we hope to go through some videos and some apps. So I hope you all enjoy. So this, you may have seen this video, but it's a great refresher. I learned even more the second, third, fourth time I watched it. So I hope you all enjoy this animated DC history in 5 minutes.
Washington, D.C. is the capital of the United States. Located between Virginia and Maryland on the north bank of the Potomac River, the city is home to all 3 branches of the federal government, as well as the White House, the Supreme Court, and the Capitol Building. Washington had an estimated population of 700,000 as of July 2018, making it
now it's more like 900,000.
the 20th most populous city in the United States. It was founded in 1791 and named after President George Washington. Columbia, in District of Columbia, refers to Christopher Columbus. Washington.
Y'all know that's what was named. Did anyone? Washington? Oh, I heard George Washington and Christopher Columbus.
Yeah.
You may have known the George Washington, but the Christopher Columbus, when I first learned, I was like, oh, wow. That's interesting.
I had to learn it because I taught 3rd grade one year. Third grade is Washington, D.C. history.
Yeah. Oh,
So
amazing.
I had to learn a lot of I learned a lot about Washington that I really did not know.
Yes, I feel the exact same way. George Washington, Christopher Columbus. That's how we have Washington, D.C.
To Christopher Columbus, Washington, the District of Columbia, is not a state, nor is it a part of any state. It is a unique federal district created specifically to be the seat of government.
Yeah, well, we'll learn later in the video, but DC was not meant as a place for residential areas. It was meant for a place of government.
From the very beginning, it was a city that was steeped in history and created out of a need to establish a central location for the running of the government. The history of Washington, D.C. is tied to its role as the capital of the United States. Various tribes of the Algonquian-speaking Piscataway people inhabited the lands around the Potomac River when the Europeans first visited the area in the early 17th century.
Now, okay, when they say visited, we know they didn't really just visit, they did other things, but yes, yes, the area around us was surrounded by Native Americans.
And they lived here.
One
and they
group,
put them
known as the
in.
Nacotchtank, maintained settlements around the Anacostia River.
Yep, there are settlements right there. So right here where Stadium is at, and right here, East River right here. Man, it's
within the present day.
It's amazing to think about who lived here before us.
District of Columbia. The site of the District of Columbia along the Potomac River was first selected by President George Washington. The city was officially founded in 1790 after both Maryland and Virginia ceded land to this new district to be distinct and distinguished from the rest of the states. To design the city in 1791, George Washington appointed Pierre Charles L'Enfant to
L'Enfant. Y'all know L'Enfant Plaza, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, his name is throughout DC.
Devise a plan for the new city in which the federal territory would lay between the northeast shore of the Potomac River and the northwest shore of the Potomac's eastern.
I mean, look at that. Can you imagine that someone laid out the plans for the whole city? How do they decide to make this one a diagonal, or this here, this park right here? Y'all know this park in this area, right? And all the connecting routes. What do y'all think of this map? Any thoughts on the map?
Look like part like Florida over there to the left.
Yes,
I think it's coded.
Say that again, Miss Lystra.
I think it's coded. It's codes in it.
Yeah.
To the left, isn't that where all the government buildings are?
Yes, because you see where all my cursor is at, my pointer. This says President's House right there.
Okay.
So this is like this, like the downtown area-ish right here. I think this is like Union Station right here. It says Capitol, but this
and this part right here in the middle,
U.S. Capitol.
This part in the middle right here that looks like a lamb chop or a steak or something. see this little part right in here. The middle.
I know this is Stadium Armory right here. This area where my cursor is at. It's just like the whole Mr. Wano, were you sharing something?
No.
Okay. All right. It's just Potomac River. Look how they spelled it with the K.
Okay. Oh, that's right. They did that.
Back then, and then Eastern Branch. That's
branch. He planned.
It's just amazing to look at how our city came to be.
And a grid system at which the center would be the Capitol building.
Yes.
Progress was
that is the Capitol building right there.
Slow, but the U.S. government moved to Washington in 1800. In 1802, Robert Brent was appointed the first mayor of Washington. However, a decade later, because of the war with Britain, the city came under attack in an episode known as the Burning of Washington. British forces.
You know the Burning of Washington, right?
No.
Anyone? Did someone say no?
I did.
Oh, okay. And anyone not familiar with the Burning of Washington? I know this is a little back.
I'm not familiar with the Burning of Washington.
Yes. I'll rewind it a bit just so we can again hear it once again. And let's make sure to keep our TVs and cell phones in mind, okay?
With Britain, the city came under attack in an episode known as the Burning of Washington. British forces burned several buildings, including the White House. Most
including the White House.
Yeah.
Government buildings were repaired quickly. However, the Capitol was largely under construction at the time and was not completed in its current form until the late 1800s. In the early and mid-19th century,
it took almost 100 years for it to kind of be fully built from when DC was first inception.
Washington, D.C. continued to grow. A rail line from Baltimore to Washington was opened in 1835. However, there was...
Y'all know what that one was? The name of that railroad was?
Was it Baltimore and what was it? Baltimore?
B and.
Yeah.
B&O.
Oh, B&O.
Yeah. Yes. Remember we learned about that in Railroads Month.
Racial tension in the growing city. There were many slaves in Washington.
Isn't it Baltimore and Ohio?
That's another one, but this was the connection between DC and Baltimore. So, yes, okay. There were a few of those railroads,
as well as free blacks. The tension erupted in the Snow Riot of 1835 when whites attacked blacks. Washington remained a small city of a few thousand residents, virtually deserted during the summertime until the outbreak of the Civil War in 1861. President Abraham Lincoln created the Army of the Potomac to defend the federal capital, and thousands of soldiers came to the area. A year later, slavery was abolished throughout the district, 8 months before Lincoln issued the Emancipation Proclamation.
8 months before the Emancipation, but it was a few years when it was first, tested out. So we're going to learn about that.
The city became a popular place for freed slaves. The significant expansion of the federal government to administer the war and its legacies led to notable growth in the city's population, doubled to 132,000 in 1870. Life in Washington, D.C. improved in the late 19th century. President Grant appointed Alexander Robey Shepard to authorize large-scale projects that greatly modernized Washington. It was the first city in
Shepherd, so I'm not sure if that has to do with Shepherd Park, but I'm sure there's a few streets. I think there's a Shepherd Street.
In the nation to undergo urban renewal projects as part of the City Beautiful movement in the early 1900s. In the early 20th, the Macmillan Plan was drawn up to remove many of the slums that surrounded the capital, replacing them with new public monuments and government buildings. Washington, D.C., however, remained deeply divided along racial lines. Violence broke out in cities across the country again. Whites, including uniformed sailors and soldiers, attacked blacks during Red Summer. Woodrow Wilson gave a voice in world affairs throughout the country's entry into World War I in 1917, and through his work to establish the League of Nations, an organization promoting international cooperation.
Yeah, League of Nations. That was a precursor to the United Nations. Wow. So again, DC has worldwide impact.
After the war, civic pride and culture flooded the city. Art galleries, museums, and concert halls were built. Like the rest of the country, Washington, D.C. suffered in the Depression of the 1930s. At the same time, the city's population grew rapidly with the creation of additional federal agencies under the New Deal programs of President Franklin D. Roosevelt, during which most of the Federal Triangle buildings were constructed. World War II brought further population increases and a significant housing shortage, as existing residents were urged to rent rooms to the influx of federal staffers who arrived from throughout the country. In 1957, Washington became the first major city in the nation with a majority African-American population.
Isn't that amazing? 1957.
First city.
Yeah, so you gotta have that pride, y'all. That's amazing. DC, because again, everything having to do with DC emancipation.
With the buildup of government and defense industries during World War II, many new residents found jobs. In the post-war years, whites who were better established economically began to move to newer housing in adjoining states in the suburbanation movement that occurred around most major cities. In 1963, Washington took center stage in the Civil Rights Movement with the March on Washington, where Dr. Martin Luther King delivered his historic "I Have a Dream" speech. However, following the assassination of King on April 4, 1968, in Memphis, Washington was devastated by the riots. The civil unrest drove many whites and middle-class blacks to move out of the city core. Despite riots and civil unrest, Washington, D.C. continued to develop during the rest of the 20th century. After more than 200 years as the nation's capital, Washington has developed as a complex and layered city with a distinctive character, both a town for locals, an international center of power, and an amazing place to visit. Thank you for...
It encompasses all those three things, right?
Mm-hmm.
Town for locals, tourist attractions, but an international center of power. Any thoughts on the video? What did you learn that you did not know before?
Alex, did any of our seniors see Martin Luther King's speech? Was
I
anybody
did.
there?
Yes, they did.
Yeah.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Tell us about it. Whoa!
Yes.
I was on the steps of the Lincoln Memorial with my aunt.
Oh my gosh!
Anna shared that story. I loved when you shared that story for the first time, man. It
And
was
it was
so
the year
amazing.
I migrated to Washington from South Carolina in 63.
Oh, wow. So you came here during that time. That's thank you for sharing that, Miss Hill.
Yes.
Could you hear it okay? Could you see it, or were you too far away?
Oh, I was right on the steps, right up behind him.
Did you have some special connection to do that?
My aunt, my white aunt, was a newspaper reporter, and my black aunt was a city council person for Philadelphia. And she, some kind of way, knew Martin Luther King and some of his relatives, and that's how we got there. And they took me.
Oh my gosh!
Amazing. I
It
love
was.
it.
I'm gonna tell you, that was the most thrilling thing, other than meeting the Pope. That was one of the most thrilling things that ever happened to me, because he gave me a hug and he told me to keep on fighting for our people.
Oh my gosh! That's incredible.
Thank you for sharing that, Ann. I love
Alex,
it.
how about anybody else? Is anybody else was there?
I rode my bike down there.
Who's that, Ron?
Yep.
Whoa! How close did you get?
Uh, let's see. I was on the side of the reflecting pool on the left. Had a real good vantage point.
Wow.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Well, unfortunately, I was in California visiting my sister on August 28th, 1963, and I got married in December. So I was in LA. Unfortunately, I missed the speech.
Oh, you was on the other side of the country. Well, it's amazing. I love you remember that at the exact date, and I know that's because you know your history, Yvonne. So I appreciate you sharing that.
Yeah, of course.
At the time, I love it. So, oh,
I was 12
y'all
years
make me
old
sweat. You say you're 12 years old, Mr.
when
Ron?
I rode my bike down there.
12. Well, I know that experience affected you for your whole life.
But Ron, any key takeaways? Like, what was your highlight?
You really don't want to know, Lou.
Really?
Yes, yes, please share.
It got reported that I was crossing the bridge on my bike with my partners, and word got home before I did.
The Queen got your butt, right?
So therefore, there was a coat of wax waiting for me, and I got buffed to a real high gloss. I'm telling you.
Oh my goodness.
But I bet you didn't regret it. Looking back, I bet you didn't regret it.
It was fun until I got home.
I appreciate you all sharing your experiences about DC's history and being a part of it. So just like I said, take that pride with you and share it, because you experienced that and not many others did. So always feel like you have that with you always, no matter where you're at, okay?
There was just so many people there. I mean, wow.
Yes.
Yes.
It was amazing.
Buses and more buses. People came from everywhere, every which way, every parachuting out of the sky. It was a woo, woo, woo.
I appreciate everyone sharing.
There were buses out on RFK Stadium where the market is now. I mean, on the parking lot where the market is, Eastern Market. I'm not the Eastern Market, the Benning Road Market. And there were buses parked there, and it was a dirt field right then.
Yes. Thank you so much. So y'all know what I've been sure about the news. Don't watch the news all day. It's not good for you. But we have different apps or so, but I just wanted to share this one with you all as well. And it's the Fox Local app. So you can take it wherever you go and you can watch your Fox Local channel basically wherever you're at. So most of us are in DC, so it would pull up Fox 5 DC. But if you're in another state or location, you may be able to look at that local station right from your device, iPad, even phone. So even if you're on your Android phone today, you can download the Fox 5 or Fox Local app. So we're going to go to the App Store. So again, you can follow along, or you can look and then see the link in the chat. We're going to go to the App Store, that blue A,
You know I
and use
did.
the search bar to search for the
you?
name of the app.
Do you want some?
Mr. Ronald, are you sharing something?
Thank you.
Mr. Ronald, are you sharing something? Are you
Turn
okay?
your mic off, Ron.
Okay.
Okay, awesome. So if you type in Fox Local, it says Fox Local Live News and Weather. So you can tap on it to read more about it. And then if you wanted to share with someone else, you can hit the share button, that square and the arrow, and then you can hit copy. You can mail it, message it to someone, or you can copy the link, and I'm going to post it here into the chat. So you can go to the App Store or Play Store on your device, and you can then download it to your device. So if you also just would like to, if you're on your Apple device, you can tap the link in the chat, just like I did here, and then you can hit get if you want to get it, or open it if you already have it on your device. So if I open the Fox Local app, can very, very quick app, you can look at what's going on for the news. And there's all different kinds of news. So I really like, weather news or looking at the morning show. I like Fox's morning show. Y'all like watching the morning shows on Fox? If you watch TV that early, I personally don't. So I like being able to relook at some of these ones here on the app. So look, even keep cleaning safe this spring season. That's a quick 5-minute video. There's something called Giants Second Chance Program. I don't know what that is, but hey, isn't that cool? I could see it here, right here on my iPad or a device. I can look at sports news. I can look at national news, politics, viral news. Barbie Dream Fest in Florida outrageous fans. That's funny. Watch Officer Man caught in bizarre cat and mouse chase. That's hilarious. Entertainment news, health news, science and tech news, money news. So I mean, look at that. You can see any kind of different news. And at the top right, you all see it says watch live. If I hit watch live,
That's a shooting
yesterday. And I would encourage your viewers to take a look at it. It really is a snapshot of what's going on with this First Lady.
You're literally watching Fox 5 live on your device. You can tap the screen and hit the CC at the bottom right. Y'all know what that CC means, right? Closed captions. So I can even turn on the captions if I want to make it easier to look at. So isn't that neat? Y'all can look at Fox 5 wherever you're at. If you're in Virginia, it'll pull up Fox 5 or Fox Virginia channel. If you're in Maryland, it'll probably pull up the Maryland one. And you're in
the First Lady if they don't want to.
Area.
But her achievements speak for
even if you're in
herself.
California, I'm
legislation
sure
that we discussed
same idea.
for reunification.
So isn't that
Ukrainian
convenient,
and
just being
Russian
able to
children?
look at that if you would like to?
That's the shooting yesterday.
Yes, it was. Yes. Yeah, you get to see all different kinds of news and just checking things out. I personally, I love the news that I get on my phone or from Apple News. It has a variety and stuff for that. So I recommend Apple News as well. Okay, so on your iPhone or iPad, Apple News. Oh, look at this. Other live things we can look at. So look, Fox, what's this? Fox Soul 24/7. Celebrate Black culture. Oh my gosh, what's that? Let's take a look at that. Fox Soul.
You are no more than a dressed up runaway slave if you will sit back and watch.
That's pretty interesting. Again, I bet they have different kinds of programming for that channel. Fox Weather.
Grab bars, grab shelves.
It's literally like watching TV. Like this, it literally feels like I'm watching a TV like commercial because they play these commercials on the channel.
The most trusted.
So even Law of Now, right? And then you can make a profile, or you can see your viewed, your saved, any alerts, your feed. Oh, look at this under Science and Tech. Maryland designates Megalodon the official state shark. Look at that shark. Maryland, that's the official state shark. The Megalodon. The Maryland is the first state to select a state shark. The megalodon joins other state symbols like the state bird, the Baltimore Oriole, and the state dinosaur, the Astrodon johnstonii. Isn't that cool? I mean, you could just learn a lot of cool fun facts. It's considered the largest shark and the largest fish to ever exist.
So they said yesterday it was big as a big room in a house.
Uh-huh. Oh, yes. So that story played on the news?
Yeah.
Oh, you see? Yeah, so that way you may not necessarily have to look at the TV for that. You can if you were away from the TV or somewhere else, you can look at all of this great, wonderful items on your device. At the bottom in the middle, the first icon is like bookmark or save. So you can save your articles. You should create a profile so you could save it. Or you can hit that line or little mini square and the arrow. That's where you can share it. So I can share it by mail. I can copy the link to this article for someone else. Y'all like the Fox local app, being able to look at videos and articles and look at different channels, all for free?
Yeah, I've already downloaded it.
Oh, I know that's right, Ms. Doyce. You got this, period. Amazing. So check out Fox Local on your device. All right. Going on to our next video or thing. 10 things you didn't know about Black DC history, and then we'll go over some destinations. So I hope you all learned something new. When people talk about DC, they're quick to talk about the monuments and the White House and Capitol Hill, but Black history goes well beyond what meets the eye here in DC. We were the first majority Black city in the nation.
Yeah.
As we just learned in that video. And DC's Black history is consequential to Black people all over America and all over the world. And as the Black population diminishes, largely due to displacement, gentrification, economic exploitation, we have an obligation to tell these stories this month, but also throughout the year. So did you all know Benjamin Banneker, a free Black man and tobacco farmer, helped map out and plan DC?
Yes. I remember. Yeah.
Yes, he did. He did research about cicadas as well. Some articles said his abilities as a surveyor and astronomer clearly prove that Mr. Jefferson, Thomas Jefferson, concluding that race of men were void of mental endowments was without foundation. Wow. Isn't that amazing that a president back in 1791 could say that about a Black person? Was without race of men were void of mental endowments, was without foundation. I know yes. But Banneker, he didn't want special praise. He simply wanted all Black people to be able to become educated so they could reach their full human potential.
Right.
Amazing. He was born and raised in Maryland to two free parents. He was a self-taught mathematician and astronomer, and who assisted the white land surveyor Ellicott in assessing the land and creating boundary lines for what became the nation's capital.
That's something.
Amazing. We know a lot of famous folks lived here in DC. Carter G. Woodson.
Yeah.
Duke Ellington. Yeah, we know, again, with the schools, Duke Ellington School, Frederick Douglass, he has the house.
Yeah.
So many places are named after him. Mary McLeod Bethune, you've learned about many times. Yeah, Paul Laurence Dunbar. Apartments. You know, literally apartment name is after him. A school is named after him.
After him.
Just to name a few. All resided in DC at some point. Their homes still stand to this day.
Yeah.
Bethunes, Douglases, and Woodsons are now National Historic Sites. Those three folks are Ellington, Woodson, and Bethune, and Douglas have statues and memorials. U.S. Capitol Visitor Center Bethune's is Memorial, which was the first dedicated to a Black woman in DC, is in Lincoln Park.
Yeah.
And Woodson's and Ellington memorials are both located in Shaw. And there are some pictures of them. Frederick Douglass, Carter G. Woodson, Mary McLeod Bethune Council House. First one dedicated to a Black woman in DC. That's amazing.
That I was right there.
Y'all know about M Street School, High School, Perry School? Founded in 1870.
It was known as Perry School.
1916, the number of students outgrew the building, and the school was moved to Dunbar. Its previous building became an elementary school and junior high school for Black children and renamed to Perry School up until the desegregation of schools. The building is now the Perry School Community Services Center.
It's next door to the church.
Yes, yes, it is. And it was, again, M Street School here, one of the first Black public schools in the country. Right here in DC. One of the first Black public schools. After, that's just, and we're right here in it. We're a 20, we're a 10-minute ride from these places, essentially, right? DC was home to the first African American or YMCA in the country.
Now that I had read.
Located in Shaw, the 12th Street YMCA.
Yeah, that was on 12th Street. I remember that.
Sports, parties, lectures, baptisms. Young African American men were provided shelter. I'm sure you all could, know of it or seen it, experienced it. During the 1920s, Langston Hughes lived there and worked as a busboy at a hotel before slipping his poetry to a famous guest and getting a scholarship to university. Isn't that amazing about Langston Hughes?
Yeah.
Named the golf course after him.
And
yes, sir.
Busboys and Poets restaurant.
Yes. Yes. Oh, I love that it's like this is just, ringing bells and bringing memories and all that stuff. I love it. Industrial Bank was the first Black-owned bank in DC, and it's still here. Nearly 88 or 80. Right. This was 4 years ago, so 88 or 92 years.
Wow.
92 years. Opening its door in 1934.
11th and U.
It's located on U Street.
That's one in my area too.
It's one on Georgia.
Yeah, they just opened one.
U Street. This bank contributed to the flourishing of Black Broadway. Remember when we learned about Black Broadway a few, 2 months ago for our DC Black History session? Yes, the bank has expanded and currently operates in DC, Maryland, Jersey, and New York.
New Jersey and New York.
That's amazing. Again, they provided access to loans for Blacks trying to open and operate churches and businesses and to purchase homes. And that was 1934. That was right in Great Depression time.
Oh yes, I know about Lee's Florist.
Oh yeah, we know I've been sharing it with others to shop there. Yes. But I mean 1930. Imagine if we did not have the industrial bank.
Yes.
Yeah.
Maybe some of us would have been here.
Yeah, they have one on Marbury Avenue too now.
Yeah, I didn't know that they're in New Jersey and New York. Did you all know that?
No, I knew they had branched out.
First Black-owned bank in DC. Amazing. Yes. Lee's Flower Shop, oldest florist in DC.
Yes.
80
years.
It's located in U Street. It survived the riots and COVID. It's been run by 3 generations of the Lee family.
Yes.
And they have really good plants.
Yes, they do.
Beautiful stuff. Yeah.
So on the left is the YMCA, in the middle is Industrial Bank, on the right is Lee's Flower Shop.
Okay.
Right. Well,
Did you
Rick,
all know
let me
that
say this. Rick Lee belongs to People's Church on 13th Street, and he sings in the choir. His name is Richard, and we call him Rick Lee. Very nice guy.
Oh, wow.
Yes,
Thank you so much for sharing. And I mean, it's a beautiful location. And I mean,
absolutely.
there's so much history with all these, just looking at the buildings and just knowing what had occurred in them. It's empowering. Did you all know that the Anacostia Community Museum is part of the Smithsonian? Have you
Yeah.
all been?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And has everyone here been to the Anacostia Community Museum?
No.
Not
No.
lately. I've been there, but not.
not
Yes.
recent.
I've been in
Yeah.
there.
Yes, it says here temporarily closed. I'm not sure if that's true, but it's on 1901 Fort Place Southeast.
Yeah, we used to
Uh,
take classes there when I was working for DC Public Schools.
Is that the library where that policewoman was shot? Is that it in Anacostia?
I think it's a little farther up
Oh, it's
from the
not.
lib
It's
from
not
the
there.
library. It's on around Erie Street, but technically it's on Fort Place.
Right near
Yeah.
pool, across from the
Uh-huh.
pool.
Yeah.
But it showcases thousands of artifacts and features items such as historic family archives from Black locals and artwork from local Black creatives.
Hmm.
I see some hands, but again, you can unmute yourself and share whenever you'd like. So please share.
Good afternoon. This is Wanda. I just wanted to
Mhm.
share that the Anacostia Museum used to be on Martin Luther King Avenue,
Right.
and you could walk in. Since then, it's been closed, but I think they've made it into something else now. But you used to could just, walk in there and go to the museum. But now it's, I think you said Fort Place is up on the.
Yes, it says that they close starting January 5th, 2026. But it will as we bring our next exhibition to life. So it should be the late spring when they open again.
Yeah.
And it seems yeah, it seems well it is kind of middle or so I would just double check and call, but yeah, it says even though our gallery is closed, join us at any of the dynamic upcoming events. Oh, let me resume sharing my screen. So you
They're
see here
probably
January 5th, 2026, but they still have Saturday programs. So this on the 18th is a day unplugged, a family-friendly program inviting guests to slow down, reconnect with nature. That one looks fun. So there's even the schedule here: container garden, family story time, fresh farm stand, and a sound bath as well, and it's free.
Hmm.
So please take advantage. The farm stand on the 25th. There's a public garden spaces field trip on the 25th as well there. So even though that the gallery is closed, they still have events going on every Saturday.
And they're
So
probably just renovating.
well, they're bringing the next exhibition to
What
life.
they're doing.
Right.
Yes, so that's what yeah. So I just shared this link here in the chat. So I hope you all take advantage or visit the museum when it opens, but to take advantage of these events that are still going on.
Okay.
Uh-huh. Thank you for sharing, Miss Wanda. I appreciate that so much. Y'all know about that go-go.
Yeah.
Chuck Brown, call and response, Soul Searchers.
Mm-hmm.
1980s, but it was the most it was when it really was popularized and was the most played genre in dance halls of DC, which are called go-go's.
I feel like busting loose. Busting loose.
Yeah, I went to the go-go's in the 80s.
Oh, yeah.
Uh-huh.
King Avenue, they have a go-go museum and cafe.
They do. It's a field
Yeah.
trip for a lot of the sites and all the senior places in DC. It's a wonderful
Hopefully
museum.
they can stay open.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
They need funds.
Yeah. Did you know that the founding of UDC is rooted in the abolition movement?
Mm-hmm.
Matilda.
In 1851, a white abolitionist named Myrtilla Minor founded the Minor Normal School for colored girls. Originally from New York, Miner spent some time teaching in Mississippi, where she saw the horrors of slavery firsthand. She left determined to help uplift freed Black women through education. She chose DC for the school because it was the southernmost city and had the greatest number of uneducated free Blacks. UDC and HBCU and the nation's only fully urban land grant university in the country, underwent various changes since then, but honors Miss Minor every year at its annual Founders Day celebration.
Absolutely.
Did y'all know that about UDC?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. She
White abolitionist.
They honor her every year at the their Founders Day.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, there used to be a wall in the university that would go down the line. It would show you what the school looked like and everything. So I'm a graduate from UDC.
Oh, amazing. Yeah, so
layers to it, you know.
yeah, you got to feel empowered. HBCU, only fully urban land grant university in the country. It's certainly, you know, an amazing location. It has so much history.
They have several campuses now. If you don't know, they have one a community college. It used to be where on North Capitol, but Howard University is renting it now. So they're over on Bacchus, over on South Dakota Avenue.
Mm-hmm.
And they have a new center right across the street from UDC now. You should go visit it. They've done a lot of renovations. They have a lot of great things going on for people of all ages, from 19 to 70. You can go back to college and get a degree. I went back at 50, so it's a great opportunity in the city.
It's wonderful.
Thank you for sharing that, Ms. Wanda. I appreciate you joining today.
Excuse me, what is your name?
My name is Wanda Jenkins.
Wanda, well, I'm Bessie Hill. I went back to school too because we were taught down south we didn't qualify or wasn't educated enough to go to college.
Mm-hmm.
At 50 years old, I went back to school at UDC.
Amazing.
Great.
Yeah.
Great.
Yes.
Oh, wow. Same age for the two of you. That's something else, ain't it?
I was elected campus queen
Wow.
when I was 50 and pledged a sorority when I was 50 as well.
What sorority you pledge?
Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated.
Hello, sister.
Yeah.
Hi.
Yeah.
I know that's right, y'all.
But I went to UDC also, and also Howard University had a Washington Saturday College, and I got my bachelor's degree from that program.
I know that's right.
Well, I'd like to share. I went to a birthday party for Dr. Matthew Kennard, taught at the University of the District of Columbia, and his two daughters put on a stellar birthday, 90th birthday celebration for him just this past Saturday. Dr. Matthew Kennard, did you all know him?
I knew it. I thought he was older than 90, but I'm surprised he's that young because I thought he was a little bit older.
Yeah, I know.
This was his 90th birthday party. He was on the faculty there for many years.
Oh my goodness. Y'all are sharing some amazing things. Y'all have that pride, feel empowered by all of your accomplishments. So I just want y'all to remember that, okay?
Let me mention two other things. I was employed at UDC for 23 years.
I know that's right.
In addition, my name is on the first union contract for the University of DC.
Oh, wow. Wonderful.
About 6 other people and we spent our $5 a week to buy stamps and paper to organize that union.
So you knew Thunderbird from UDC, right?
I knew Thunderbird very well. He was at admissions. He was a friend of mine.
Did anybody know Gloria Weish Moore?
Yes, I knew Gloria Weiss Moore.
Yeah, she was on the faculty, and she now lives in Florida. In Georgia. She lives in Georgia. And I'll tell her that I talked with you guys.
Well, my name, she'll remember it because I did many emergencies for her, helped her.
And your name, is this Miss Jenkins?
No, that's
No, that's
Hill.
Miss Hill. You can look at the name on the camera and it'll come up in the bottom left.
Yes,
That's Miss Hill.
Okay. Uh-huh.
Miss Bessie Hill. I appreciate you all sharing and again, feel empowered by your accomplishments and just always remember that and share that with others. And you can inspire someone else. So I I love it. Oh, this is one of my favorite sessions of the month. uh, and to end off this article, did you know that DC has an African American Heritage Trail, which identifies more than 200 sites that are important in local and national history and culture? Y'all recognize these signs?
Yeah.
Yeah, metropolitan.
Yeah,
Yes.
Logan Circle has one.
Yes. There's a heritage trail in so many places. Lincoln Memorial, that's where I have a dream speech. There are over 200 sites like the Capitol, Howard Theater, Gardens, African Methodist Episcopal Church. The Heritage Trail identifies over 200 sites. So, how about we take a look at some of them, but really quick. Oh, really quick. Because look, time flies, you're having fun. I'll see if I can load this up. But let's go into yes, we'll go into this video. So talking about DC Emancipation Day, a quick video to introduce it, and then we'll go into the app and maybe check that Heritage Trail out.
So let's take the next 2 minutes to focus on the history of Emancipation Day.
This is
DC.
tomorrow,
Turns out
DC
President Lincoln was
Emancipation Day.
a little hesitant about freeing slaves. He decided to start small and focus on our city first. Lorenzo Hall with that part of the story.
The original DC Emancipation Day festivities were all about celebrating freedom from slavery when, with the stroke of a pen, President Abraham Lincoln freed more than 3,000 slaves in Washington. A soft launch, if you will, in 1862 for his bigger plans to free slaves in several states a few months later.
Lincoln was a little bit on the fence about the whole idea.
Jane Levy is chief historian at the Historical Society of Washington. She says nobody really knew what freeing a large number of slaves would entail. There were already some free blacks in Washington who worked and paid for their freedom.
I mean, just even looking at the pictures, it's definitely something, right? I mean, my goodness.
Freedom, but they were governed by black codes, including 10 p.m. curfews and even fines for disorderly conduct.
This was just a way of controlling the black population.
So freeing millions of blacks was a bold idea, and Lincoln, facing increasing pressure during the Civil War to end slavery, wanted to try it on a smaller scale first in Washington.
Washington, D.C. has always been a laboratory for federal experiments.
He was able to make that happen in D.C. because, unlike the states, the president and Congress controlled the city.
He really honestly believed that blacks and whites could not get along. It would be better if we separated them.
That's why, in addition to ending slavery in D.C., Lincoln agreed to pay D.C. slave owners $300 for each slave they owned and $100 to those newly freed slaves to leave the country.
$100 for those newly freely slaves. $100 to leave the country. Just $100.
That was a lot of money in that time.
It was relatively, yes, but still, like for the hundreds of years of suffering and control and right. I mean, in comparison, they gave the slave owners $300 for each one that they owned. And the newly freely people, they had to leave the country just to get $100.
Think about it, isn't it?
The math is not mathing. No.
Think about, yeah.
Right, because that's
for them
to leave the country.
Very few people took him up on the offer.
Very few people took him on that offer,
even though their money was there. They didn't want to go. This was their home.
So that meant get back on the boat, go back across the Atlantic Ocean.
Yeah, the option, take $100 to leave the country. Most people did not take up on that offer.
Ridiculous.
Again, he gave $300 to the slave owners for each one that they owned, just for you see.
1862 established a
I feel
network
they
of
gave
churches and
Lincoln too
schools.
much
That
credit.
black base
His
made the city appealing to those who would eventually
Yes.
be free.
They had to go about it some way because again, no, it wasn't just his decision. He had others too. So, I mean, the caveat was there, but at least it occurred, you know?
By the Emancipation Proclamation.
The city would be overwhelmed by African Americans.
They saw Washington as a city where they could be protected and pursue opportunities. In the district, I'm Lorenzo Hall, WUSA 9.
Right. That's why we celebrate DC Emancipation Day because DC was, the first to free those slaves before any other part of the country.
Right.
Any other part, DC Emancipation Day.
Mm.
Wouldn't DC be different today if they didn't let them out before others or free them before others? Y'all think that the place would be different? Because within those years, like 1862 versus 65, right? You know what I'm saying? Those years, what happened in those years, changed history. If they didn't have that time, if it would just the whole entire country free the slaves at once, maybe DC wouldn't be the place that we know is today.
And being the nation's capital, they had to be the first to do a lot of things anyway, so the others would follow.
Amen.
Right. It's a double-edged sword. It's the good, you see the good, but just kind of see the caveats and not the bad, but of what had occurred. So I'm glad we have such a community here now. So I'm glad most did not take up on that $100 offer.
Me
Offer,
too.
or I can even respect it and call it an offer. It's a it's a throwaway.
I know that there was a big movement to export former slaves to Liberia, to West Africa. I just did some research on that. It's quite a story behind that. About 16,000 went there, and
what year was this, Lou?
1820 to 1848.
Oh, so that was before emancipation.
Let me look at this.
While you do, I'm the next app that we're covering today, folks, is DC Historic Sites. So again, you can check the link out in the chat or search it on your app or Play Store. It's called DC Historic Sites.
And Alex, one more qualification. Actually, it went from 1820 to early 1900s.
Oh my!
For about 100 years.
So that was a whole completely other, thing that they were trying to do to maybe move people that, to areas.
And the capital of Sierra Leone is Freetown for that very reason. It was when during the period of slavery, when the slaves were exported to West Africa, they became free once they arrived in Sierra Leone. Big story there.
Oh, wow. Thank you for sharing. I wasn't aware of that. I shared the link in the chat for this app, DC Historic Sites, and I'll share the link for the other one, but the other one is a White House experience. It's literally a tour of the White House. So I'll see if I can briefly show that one, but I really want to focus on this app. So if Lou, everyone, go on your phones or the links in the chat, and I really want y'all to download this app because you could do a whole tour straight from your home, straight from sitting on a bench in a park or with your family, friends, etc. So look, you can discover different featured sites, and of course nearby sites and then you have the menu on the left-hand side. So I can hit sites and see
Senator Theater.
I can see recent sites. I can see nearby sites or featured sites. I can see tours. So remember we just talked about the tours. So look at all the different tours that they have here for DC. Just even here in DC, all the different kinds of tours that you can take with just this one app. So look, African American civil rights, over 107 sites. Or if you just want to look at schools, etc., you can look at those tours and even a map. So you can look at a map and you can see, look at all the sites that are in DC that are National Historic Sites. So give me a quadrant, y'all, and we'll see which ones are here.
Southwest.
Okay, Southwest. That's my least traversed myself. Southwest. Okay, so let me go over here. This is right here, the Smithsonian. This is Southwest. Down here, there's look at all these red spots. Look at those are all National Historic Sites in Southwest. So let me go down here. What's this one? St. Dominic's Church, a place of worship and peace. This church long served Southwest DC. Let's
Yeah.
go down here. Thomas Jefferson Junior High School.
Yeah.
I'm not familiar with that school.
Yeah.
Central
Somewhere
Heating
there.
Plant, C Street Southwest.
Okay.
Oh,
The DMV for your auto.
yes, yes.
DMV.
The Auditors Building Complex, Bureau of Engraving and
Yeah,
Printing is in
printing.
Yeah,
Southwest.
that's that.
Yes, yes. Look at all these different. What's this right here in the middle? Oh, Federal Office Buildings, 10A and 10B, Wilbur and Orville Wright Building.
Oh.
Wow, Federalville. We know Wilbur and Orville, right?
Yeah, the Wright brothers.
Yes, they were designed by two architectural firms. Uh, all the sites have a long history, and each site that you go to, you can look at pictures. Y'all see the text, that page icon, and then the pictures icon. Look at that. You can see sketch drawings. Look at that. All old pictures, or this is 2023. Look at all that. Look at all these ones. Okay, give me another quadrant, and then we'll go on into another part of the app. We have Southwest.
No, Northwest.
Ward 4.
Okay, Northwest. Okay, so Ward 4, somewhere up here. So let's go to Brightwood. Civil Rights Tour, Housing, Neighbors, Inc., Fighting White Flight, 5508 Illinois Avenue. A pioneer mission of Neighbors, Inc., founded in 1958, was persuading white homeowners to remain in the city. To do that, the group doggedly documented racist tactics that realtors used to convince white properties to sell their homes and move out of DC. In response, the DC district commissioners adopted regulation barring racial discrimination by homeowners, builders, landlords, real estate agents, lenders, and advertisers. Real estate brokers who violated the regulations risked fines, imprisonment, and suspension or revocation of licenses. Wow. Wow. Again, just go into the map. You can see so much about history. Let me move up here. What's this next to Quackenboss Street? Oh, Emory United Methodist Church. What's down here? Military Road School. Oh, look at this. The school relates to struggles of Black people for accessible public education in DC. Established in 1864, it connected DC Civil War forts. It was near Fort Stevens Barracks, where many people of color resettled for employment and protection under the nearby fort. For many years, the Military Road School served as the only school available to Black students in Northwest DC. Wow. Currently the building houses the Latin American Montessori bilingual public charter school.
Okay.
Yeah, the Military Road School was closed in 1954. So it survived for 90 years. And then it became the Montessori. Let's look at some pictures. Again, I hit that pictures icon.
Yeah.
This is 2010.
Yeah.
2010. This is an old photo right here.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Stevens. They have the Fort Stevens battleground nearby.
Look at that. Children in front of Military Road School. Anybody see yourselves in the photo? Wow, isn't this an amazing photo? This is a blessing. Look, her dress on the left is nice. Amazing. Look at that. Look at them all just looking all nice and just they look happy.
Yeah. See if they show Fort Stevens, where the one of the civil rights battles was fought at Fort Stevens.
There's Fort Stevens Drive right here. So there's the Glade Apartments, there's Fort View Apartments or Fort Stevens Place. This is Fort Stevens Park. Yes, Fort Stevens Park, Civil War fort sites and Fort Circle Park Historic District. 1,300 acres of federal park land. Wow.
And that's where the Fort Stevens Rec Center is located, nearby under Department of Recreation.
Yep, DPR. Wow. I mean, let's look at some of the images. This is 2010 right now.
Fort Stevens.
Civil War cannons at Fort Stevens. Uh, commemoration service in 2019. Of interpretive signage, so you can learn more about it. The focal point of a Confederate attack by General Jubal Early with his force of 15,000 soldiers, defended by a meager force of convalescents. Ooh, never heard of that before.
Convalescents.
Quartermaster employees and 100-day militia volunteers. Fort Stevens held back an attack by Confederate skirmishers on July 11th. Reinforcements from the Union 6th and 19th Corps on the second day checked and turned back the only Confederate threat against D.C. during the war. Late in the afternoon of July 12th, President Abraham Lincoln was exposed to a Confederate fire while observing this battle, where approximately 900 soldiers were killed, wounded, or missing. Nearby Battleground Cemetery, which was dedicated by Lincoln soon after the battle, contains the graves of 40 Union soldiers who died in defense of Fort Stevens. I did not know this at all about Fort Stevens, especially Lincoln was actually there.
Yeah.
And 900 soldiers died. So that's like 1 out of 15. So 1 out of 15 soldiers.
They observe it every year, and I've been to it. And they've mentioned how Lincoln came close to being shot.
Yeah. At Fort
Yeah. So even just from one image, you all see how I zoomed in on this picture and it was able to actually feel like I was standing right there and reading it.
Yeah.
There's the flag commemoration service. There's the Battleground National Cemetery. So those are those 40 Union soldiers. Oh my gosh.
And that's where the rec center is now?
Yeah. No, well, the rec center's on around the corner on Van Buren Street.
But it's all together.
It's called Fort Stevens Recreation Center.
There's Fort Stevens. There's Fort Bunker Hill. In the parks, Fort De Russy.
Wow.
Fort De Russy Earthworks in Rock Creek Park. This site of this fort was selected in 1861, first called Fort Pennsylvania. It was located at 430 feet elevation, containing 3 important roads which entered the city from northwest in what is now Wisconsin and Nebraska Avenue.
Avenues.
Right.
This is Fort Reno Park up here.
Yes, I've seen it.
Look at this map. Circa 1900, Fort Driveway Park. March, I think that says 1898. Fort Driveway, permanent system of highways. Oh, look at that. Look at all the forts. Fort Bunker Hill. Fort Totten. That makes sense, right? Totten. Fort Totten.
Yeah, Fort Totten.
That's why it's called a fort. I never knew.
Isn't that amazing? That's amazing.
Fort Stevens. Fort De Russy. Fort Kearney. Fort Reno. Fort Beyond or Boyard or something.
See if they have anything on Fort DuPont. That's in Southeast DC.
Sure, I think we'll end with that today. So, thank you so much, everyone. I hope you all download this app and check it out and share with others. It has a lot of wonderful information, doesn't it?
Indeed.
And pictures.
Indeed.
Yes. So if I go on the tours, yes, this will be last for today. African American civil rights. I'm sure it will come up on this tour, but look, in the tour section, you can see all the sites for that particular tour. So like these are all the stories for these tours. So you can even go to the tour map. Let's see what it does. Let's see if it works. Let's see. Okay, it sure does. So those are all the African American civil rights sites that are there. You see that there's less red because it's just showcasing those sites in the tour. Fort DuPont. I should know where that's at.
Fort DuPont.
I see here. This is close. Let's see what this says. If I tap, well, that says Sosa Junior High.
Sousa.
Yeah,
Middle.
Sousa. See, I'm learning all with you too myself.
John Philip Sousa.
Sousa.
Yeah, John Philip Sousa. Yes, Fort DuPont. Let's see. I don't see any in the tour, but I love that I can use the search button and type it. So let me write DuPont. Oh, DuPunt. I'm sure DuPont Circle will come up or Fort DuPont. Look at the sites. Okay. So let's look. All these do okay. Fort DuPont. There's one. Let me just look through about some other ones. But I mean, there is even looking at the list, there is just everything in DC if you wanted to learn more about it. So yes, Fort DuPont. Today, Fort DuPont is one of the 8 Civil War defenses of Washington sites managed by National Capital Parks East. It had 6 sides, each 100 feet long, protected by deep moat trees. It was named for Flag Officer Samuel F. DuPont, who commanded the naval victory at Port Royal, South Carolina, in November 1861. It served as a lifeline of freedom. Runaway slaves found safety here before moving on to the growing community of contraband in Washington. The barracks and guns are gone, but the fort's earthworks can still be traced near the picnic area on Alabama Ave. The National Capital Planning Commission acquired the old fort and surrounding land for recreation. A golf course was constructed, and as the city grew, golf gave way in 1970 to the sports complex along Eli Place that now includes tennis, basketball court, athletic fields, a softball diamond. An indoor ice rink offers skating all winter. Where once soldiers looked out over farmlands, park visitors now grow fruit and vegetables in the community garden. Yeah, this is within the Civil War Fort Sites tour. So let's take a look at some pictures. It looks like they don't have too many. But yes, 1861 to 65. The plaque at the plaque about Fort DuPont. Oh, it's only traces of the fort today are the earthworks. The bronze plaque are inside of the loop drive at the north end of the fort.
Every summer there's a great concert series too at Fort DuPont.
Oh, this is circa May 1972 on the Alabama Avenue side.
Right. Okay. Well, thank you, Alex, for that.
Oh, thank you for the suggestion, Greer, and I appreciate everyone today for our session. I'll put the last one in the chat so you all can experience it. There may have been some changes, but if you ever wanted to go to the White House, but you didn't have time or weren't able to for whatever reason, this app is called the WH Experience. So if you want to look at the ballroom, if you wanted to look at the Red Room or the Blue Room, or all the different parts of the building, you can go to
ballroom ain't no
link
more.
in the chat. Yeah, so
we no longer.
Yeah, it's good to look at a piece of history though, but hopefully, once that maybe they'll change, but that link is there for you all to be able to check out for that app. So if you wanted to take a deep or look inside the White House without having to go there and just using your device, you download that last app that I put in the chat, okay?
It's the East Room that doesn't exist anymore.
Right,
the East Room, they're building a ballroom where the East Room was.
There was, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Unfortunately.
It sometimes things it is what it is, but that's why we got history and that's why we got pictures and images and different things so we can reminisce if we want, So
yeah.
I appreciate you all joining. What's one new fact that you learned today? What app do you like? The DC Historic Sites? Do you like the Fox Local app? This new app? Do you consider DC to be your home? What do you like most? And how are you celebrating DC Emancipation Day? But I hope you all enjoyed and felt like you was on a tour of DC without leaving your home.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
What were y'all surprised by? What did y'all learn new?
I'm surprised the slaves were here and all the things they experienced in Washington.
$100.
That $100, right? Versus the
Yeah.
300 that the
Yeah.
slave owners got just by owning them, but only $100 for the free slaves, where they had to travel across the ocean to go to another, well, not a new place, but another new, a new area. Like that is just
That
something.
was ridiculous.
To relocate for $100.
Relocate for $100.
You need to stop opening that.
Get back on the boat. Ain't that a shame?
Right, right, Mr. Ron. You see what y'all see like that. When I first, even 2 years, when I first saw that first 2 years ago, I was like,
Oh,
oh
that's
man.
another one. That ain't that one.
You know, it's a life is amazing. Like it's a blessing that we're here. DC was not meant to be a place for residential, residents. It was a place for government, but maybe because of really, Lincoln and the whole emancipating the slaves, before the whole country did, communities were built, relationships and partnerships were made between others. So we really made lemonade out of lemons.
I'm also intrigued by the forts.
Yes, me
Forts
too.
and their alignments as defense for the city. There's a
Did you see
whole
that
lot
map,
of
Mr. Ronald? You saw that
yeah.
map where it went from
That,
southeast and the line, and then
that's what I
I
mean.
never thought about it like that.
That's what I mean. There's a whole lot of forts
Mm-hmm.
and their names.
Yes, then like I never realized Fort Totten was, I thought, the name metro station, but it was an actual fort.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It was an actual, so like I learned something new today, a lot of new things today.
I did
I
too.
love it. I love it. About our own city, about where we are. So especially as I really want y'all to just download that Historic Sites app, look at it, share with others in honor of tomorrow, but all year, and have DC pride each and every day.
Yes. Right. Yes.
I was glad to see that they were still honoring the industrial bank, as that was the first bank that allowed Black people to put money in it.
Yeah, money in it, loans for houses, for
Loans,
businesses, for churches, for buildings, for all of the things. So I mean, everything has a connection to something else, and that's what I love about history. I love about life.
Yeah.
It's
And
connected. So yeah.
it wasn't mentioned, but Independence Federal Savings Bank also was in existence for many years. I think it should be a part of the presentation because it's extinct now. It was called Independence Federal Savings. And it lasted for over 50 years, but unfortunately, when the owner, William Fitzgerald, died, the bank began to go down. And so but it was called Independence Federal Savings Bank.
Teach, you gonna teach.
I know that's right.
Yeah, because that went
And
on.
that's I'll also leave you off with that. If you ever wanted to learn more about DC's Black History, literally go on your Safari, go on your phone, go on your device, and just type DC Black History. You can use the apps for today, but just you can go on YouTube and watch some videos. You can even look at some of the websites for some of the museums. I mean, there is so much to learn about our history here in DC. Every time I do this session or talk about DC, you learn about something new because we have such a rich history here in DC. Don't y'all agree?
I agree.
Yes.
I agree.
That was one of the reasons why Martin Luther King chose to do his speech here, was because this is where a lot of the Blacks settled and were free. Yes, that was one of the reasons that he did that.
I appreciate you all joining us, and you too, Lou, for participating and sharing. And I hope you all learned something new, have a new perspective, share it with others. But in about 10 minutes or so, we're going to hear from Jordan and have module 5 and 6 review. So have that DC pride. I hope you enjoy your DC Emancipation Day tomorrow. And I appreciate you all joining our travel edition today. So let's all say thank you to Lou for again hosting and for joining us and for all of us for sharing our DC history with others.
Thank you all.
Thank
You all for sharing.
Thank you, Lou.
Thank you,
Thank
Lou.
you for the connection.
Alex.
Oh, my pleasure.
Thanks,
Thank
Alex.
you.
Thanks, Lou.
Hope you enjoy this tour.
Good stuff, y'all. Good stuff, y'all.
See
Good
y'all
stuff.
soon.
Yes.
Thank you all once again.